Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th of September. Thank you so much for joining me. This is for your sun or your ascendant. If you get to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did now. This week sees Saturn end its 4.5 month backward journey. I think this is something that we can all let out a collective sigh of relief around. But it is true that last week's full moon in Pisces is still feeding its way into this week's proceedings. This is asking us to remain mindful of the more spiritual or emotional dimension of the more practical elements of our aims and our activities. But it is also true to say that Venus and Mercury are forging a beautiful alliance in the sign of Libra. Of course, Venus rules Libra, so it's in its home zone. And if there is something that needs to be discussed, these two will certainly help us to be a bit more detached and embrace a bit more diplomacy. It is true in the second half of the week that Mercury goes into a square with Saturn, and possibly there could be a bit of inhibition or a bit of a stumble around one particular interaction. But I think it is a chance to reach out, to try to find some consensus, to meet people halfway. However, Uranus is forging an obtuse angle to Venus all this week. So when it comes to relationship issues where money might be involved, it's probably better not to be too impetuous. There's also a quarter moon as this week closes in the sign of Gemini. It's just cautioning us not to try to pack too much in. There is a window of opportunity to be really constructive because Mars is forging an awesome angle to Pluto. So if we're really single-minded and we've done our research and we're very precise in our approach, there is the opportunity for a huge step forwards. But if we try to do too much, this quarter moon is going to catch us out. So if you're planning any do-it-yourself, as this week draws to a close, it's probably best not to be too ambitious. Your specific forecast, Capricorn, shows that the big news story this week is the fact that your ruling planet Saturn ends a 4.5 month retrograde. This is something that is going to see you feeling much more positive and on the front foot, not least because of Pluto's angle in your sign with the Sun. And the Sun is in an area which is very much asking you to push out your boundaries, to be more dynamic. Now, with both Venus and Mercury combining in the most worldly part of your scope, the changes that you have or the restlessness that you feel may be around your work or any kind of big responsibilities and obligations. But tact and diplomacy can really take you far. But ironically, although Saturn does end that retrograde, it does clash with Mercury in the second half of this week. So you could encounter someone who does try to block some kind of big idea you have, or you may suffer a momentary self-doubt, but try to overcome this. As I said, with the Sun and Pluto combining so well, this is your chance to really forge forwards. There is a quarter moon as this week draws to a close, and it just suggests that as much as there is this chance to make progress in terms of your personal plans and be more expansive, there are still going to be some obligations to attend to, even everyday boring stuff. And it is going to be important to try to find a balance between your free time and attending to those. If you'd like to know more about personal astrology, why not order your year 2020 forecast? Based on your time, date and place of birth, you can get the rest of this year free, but also 30% off by clicking the link beneath this video. But for now, good luck and goodbye.